Hi, it's Denise. Welcome to my home. Well, I was gonna go to Habitat again because the last time I went, I found a chair that was like a kitchen chair. I have one chair in my craft room and I have to haul it around, to get to the sewing machine and stuff. And I had found a chair there and I was gonna get it and I forgot. So I was going to get it today. Got all ready to go. Well, it's snowing. It's not real bad, but I don't like to go out in it. So I'm not going to. I have a whole tray full of beads and stuff. I wanted to start doing some stuff with them. I have several of these little containers. At this point, I want to organize them. If this gets to be real boring for you and you leave, don't feel bad about it. I totally understand. What I'm going to do is I bought these spacer beads some time ago, and I need to put them all together in a container. So I thought, well, I can do that with you. And then I have my beading tray, and I want to put a necklace together. What do you think? So these are the same size. I'm getting some out that are the same size. And I found that my animals just wreak havoc on my craft room. They just absolutely wreak havoc on it. And instead of oh gosh, now I'm getting warm. It's either feast or famine here. They're tearing around like crazies. I'm not doing Temu any favors with what I'm wearing today, except for the earrings. Well, I do have pants on that are Temu, but this shirt I got some time ago and it's really nice. I like it a lot. I think I bought it secondhand, but it's got the cowl collar and stuff. And then I have Temu earrings. So, what are you doing today? I need to take the camera in and show you my room. I spent hours on it the other day. My room has not looked like a bedroom in a very, very long time, but it does now. I got it done. And I'll have to go in there and show it to you. I guess I'm kind of proud of it because it wasn't so long ago that I couldn't do it. I really couldn't do it. So now I can. I amaze myself every day at how much I can do. I really do. God is so faithful. And He just gives me everything that I need, including health. There was a long time where I wondered if it was time to go home. Not that I wanted to, because I really didn't feel like I was ready. And I felt like there were things that I needed to do. And I won't go into all the details of what was going on because it's just ridiculous. It just never stopped. And they don't have a name for anything. They weren't able to pinpoint anything with me except that, yeah, she's sick. And I think that they even wondered about that, you know. They wondered if I was feigning. I don't know how they could, but you know, I don't think it's such an uncommon thing for doctors to, it's like teachers that burn out, you know. Doctors are used to being able to say, yeah, this is it, we can fix it or we can't. And that's kind of the name of that tune. Well, it's not that easy sometimes. And my health issues are specific to my spinal cord injuries. So, oh, look what I found. I found all of my needle threaders. I couldn't find them. Well, I've ordered another 50 of them. And I'll have needle threaders forever. Anyhow, I know God was with me through it. It was pain like I've never experienced before. Things that were just really, really hard. And my God was faithful. He's always faithful. And I hope that he was seen through all of this. I pray that he was. I know I felt him in such a huge way. And my desire, if you see anything of me, see the Lord. What he's done for me, what he does for me every day. You know, even if the tides were such that I would have gone home to be with him, it wasn't a loss at all. I was in the hospital 8 times. I was transported by ambulance 8 times last year. Wait a minute. It was the year before last now because we're in 2024. And then I had been in the hospital before that as well. It kind of started with 2020. I signed the papers on my house. Oh, this is actually God's house. That's another whole story that's just really cool. I didn't know that I would ever qualify for another home. I've been a homeowner before. But here I was 70 years old, 2022. Now I was 68 years old at that time. I had 3 kids that I was raising. I knew I was dealing with some stuff, but I wasn't sure what all it was. But I found out, you know, that I could qualify. I had worked hard to repair my credit. And I did. When you first get disabled and you're looking for disability, you wind up being unemployed for a long time, and money is very tight, and bills don't get paid, and it's really a rough go-round. You guys that have, you peoples, I don't mean to call, if you're a lady, I don't mean to call you a guy, but you all know, you know, those of you that have been disabled or are disabled, you know what it looks like, and it's hard. So anyway, I got my credit squared away, and I bought my house at a time when interest rates were phenomenally low. I got to decide what color I'm going to use there. I looked at several different homes, and a couple of them I thought that they would be the ones for me, but they were both 2-story, and they went with the Lord had for me. They weren't. The prices were good, but it wasn't what the Lord had for me. More beading needles. And this friend of a friend, his aunt and uncle used to own this house. They owned it from the time it was born. They built it. It was built in 1961. No one else had ever lived in this home except for them. It was never rented out. The year prior to me buying it, they both died. And they were older people. I mean, their health had been declining, so that was no surprise exactly. But for some reason, well, I know why, because the house hadn't been updated. It was still the original house. I think maybe a couple of things had been updated, but, you know, like it had 1 bathroom, and I'll look at you while I'm talking here. It only had 1 bathroom. It has a place for a 2nd bathroom if I get to that point. But it was a 3-bedroom house. And I was living in this tiny little trailer, a 650-foot, was it 650 square feet? Maybe it was 700 square feet. Tiny trailer with 3 children. And I was buying that, you know, God opened the door for that too. But when I found that I could buy this house, it was like, oh my goodness. When I walked into this house, I walked into the family room, which is this room. And there was a fireplace. And I thought, oh, would that be possible, Lord? Then next door in here is the living room. And there was scripture on the wall. God's word was on this house. I can't tell you what I experienced with this. This home was set apart for us, for me, for my grandchildren who aren't with me anymore. I have Peyton, but it was set apart for me and for the kids. Sailed through. Well, it didn't actually. I had some problems with the people that were processing the loan, and I had to go to somebody else. But I wound up getting an interest rate that is phenomenal, 3.6% for a 30-year loan. If I could have gone with a 15-year loan, it would have been 2%. But I just didn't want to stretch that far. And I think I might not have qualified for a 15-year loan. I don't remember why we didn't pursue that. But I know the payments would have been about $100 more a month. I bought the house privately. The house appraised for $90,000. And I bought it for $70,000. Now, mind you, there were some issues, and I have had some issues with the house, not $20,000 worth. So I was $20,000 less than market. And if you recall, during that time, with the interest rates, the housing prices skyrocketed because they could. People were buying left and right. The last time my house was appraised was for $135,000. And that was, oh goodness, the year that I bought it. I I refinanced it. It was at 4.5% when I got my first loan. And I refinanced it to 3.6% the first year. I was able to take out enough money to pay off my debt. I wish I could say that it didn't stay paid off, but we're working on it now. And my grandkids have a home. And it's a wonderful home. It's got beautiful hardwood floors. I had the carpet pulled up in the living room because, in the hallways, Lacey, when I got her, they forgot to tell me she was pregnant. And bless her heart, she had morning sickness all during her pregnancy. She was pooping everywhere and had diarrhea, and it ruined the carpet. It was a white carpet, which I guess I'm really, really glad that we took it up, because white carpet is a real hard thing to have when you have children. Definitely any carpet is a blessing. And the bedrooms are still carpeted. But they have beautiful hardwood floors underneath. This family room was a garage, and they built another garage as a freestanding garage. And there's a shed in back. It's a huge lot. I'm sitting on 1/3 of an acre. It's more than 1/3. It's 0.34 acres. Hi. And what is it that you want? It's just always, all the time, huh? What do you want? What do you want? He's not smiling right now. And they have food. They have water. He's been in my lap a lot of the day today when I haven't been sitting down, or when I've been sitting down. Maybe I haven't been sitting down enough for him. And then Lacey gets jealous, so she wants up too. Right now she's not doing that. Wow, we've got 1 inch of snow on the ground already. Anyhow, and then Mama's here too, so what, baby? Can I talk? Other than to you? So I signed the papers on February 6th of 2020. I did a lot of stuff while I was moving, and I started having problems again with my neck. I was having episodes of really weird stuff, and there are a lot of spasms involved, and I mean, I could go into it, but what's the point? Anyway, I went to the hospital, and my surgeon, who had saved my life in 2013, what they saw was that there was thoracic involvement, middle back involvement with my degenerating discs, and I had a surgery. Well, that surgery took care of that part of it, but there's some other things that are happening in the spinal cord that kind of seem like they're like really weird. Anyway, I'll run a fever, and I'm not sick, and I have spasms, and anyhow, it wound up that I was in the hospital quite a bit as a result of all of this. And I had help for quite a bit. I haven't had help for over a year now. And I felt like, oh, and then I got COVID in 2020, November of 2020. And that left me, it wasn't the worst thing that's ever happened to me, but I got the fatigue. And I had that for a year. And I wondered if that was going to go away. And that was the year that I wound up in the hospital. No, it wasn't. That was the year. let's see, it was 2022 that I was in the hospital a lot. So it just seemed like a natural progression of things that I was declining. And that's why I kind of wondered if it was aiming at going home. But I felt unfinished. I didn't feel like I was done. That the Lord had things for me to do, and I didn't want to ever give up. Never give up. And I knew He was with me through it all. And I don't know why I'm telling you all this stuff, but I am. It's fine for me to tell you. I just am trying to remember the point that I was going to make. I think the point that I'm making is that, you know, we never know what God's going to do. And this house has just been such a blessing. So, here we are. It is Friday. Peyton had a day off from school, so, and then Monday they get off too for President's Day. And she's gone today and tomorrow, and she'll be back. But she has a 4-day weekend. Oh, I forgot. I may have to turn this off for a few minutes when Walmart is supposed to deliver an order. Anyhow, I think I was trying to tell you that I just haven't been able to keep up with my house. I haven't been able to. I had the dolls, and for you, those of you that don't know, I have hundreds and hundreds of LOL dolls that I've redressed. I ordered their clothes, I washed them, I did everything to make them new. And they're dressed in clothing that is not unlike what they came in. Most of them are, I was able to buy clothing that was just like what those particular dolls wore. Other ones have different clothing, but they're all beautiful. And I wanted to sell them at a Christmas bazaar, but I couldn't because I was sick that year. And then this year, 2023, I just didn't do it. And I started the YouTube channel, and here we are. So, little by little, I'm doing more and more each day and getting my house in order. And that is such a huge blessing to me. As most of you know, this is my chair, it's my bed, it's where I spend a lot of time. I don't sleep in my bed. Although I've looked at it lately and thought, gosh, I wonder if you could. I went in there and sat today and just looked around. It's so peaceful, so wonderful. With 27 cats, and they're not 27, they're 6. They follow me everywhere. And the dogs. It's really nice to be able to be in there. Anyhow, what is going on in the craft room, it's a mess again, but there's so much stuff that comes in the house. I need to find ways to productively, efficiently put them in order so I know what's there. And I brought everything out here so that we could do it out here. The cats get in there and I end up spending an hour cleaning up what they knocked down. So my goal is to keep them out of there completely. And here we are. What I'd like to work on today. Do you remember this necklace? I love this necklace. It's absolutely gorgeous. I got it at Habitat. And I guess I could leave it the way it is, but I'm not going to. I thought maybe I could fit beads over the cord, but I can't. I have to figure out how to even do that with what I've got. And I have this cord. I'm planning to make these very different than what you see. If I can find the end of this, I think it's right here. There it is. Now this board I showed you the other day, I hauled it, and it's got 3 different necklace lengths that you can do. And what I'm going to do is do beads for the middle one, and I'm going to do little beads for the outside one and the middle one and the smallest one. The necklace is going to be different than anything you've seen. I have it in my mind's eye. So the advantage of having this tray is that I can develop a pattern and string them that way. And it's a place that's stable for stuff to be while I'm stringing them. So, what I'm gonna do maybe I can just squish this down a little bit. You don't need to be up here, you know. This is one of the jump rings. It's funny because I know I can do things. I know I have the wherewithal in my brain to do things. I have ideas in my brain. And my hands aren't very dexterous. And this shoulder is blown. So there are things that most people can do with 2 hands that I can't. I was trying to hammer, nail and hammer the scratching board that I got for the cats, and I couldn't put nails in the wall. That's just nuts. Maybe that'll get better in time too. I hope it does. In the meantime, though, I may not try to save this. Oh, wait a minute. I did it. There's the extender for the back. Let's see if I can get these little puppies off. I can. I'm so excited, and all I have to do, although I think that this probably won't be long enough for what I plan to do. These are really pretty spacer beads. They're like a burnished gold. Can you see them? I'm taking these off and putting them in the tray so that they won't get lost. And I'll be using everything that's on here and adding to it. Okay. So these beads I can put in here. It'll have one little place for that. And here's the pendant. This is really pretty. It's enameled. Can you see that? And it's 2 pieces. On the back, it looks like it's hammered. It's just exquisite. I think this necklace was probably kind of spendy when it got picked up. Now, some of the beads that I want to use are these guys. Want to open them up. Open! Now, I got to figure out what kind of a pattern I want to do. I said these were going to be the inside. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spacers. I may wait and use these little gold ones later because I don't think I'll have enough to do what I want to do. I'm not sure what these are going to look like. Let's see. Two, 3. Spacer. Now these are plastic that I'm using as spacer beads, but I think they're going to look all right. Maybe I'll use the other ones. I don't know. Let's see what they look like. I guess it's going to depend on how it looks with silver, because these are silver. Okay, if I do 2, and a spacer, do 3, do a spacer, I'm kind of watching to make sure that I don't that my pattern stays good. So 2 and 3. 2 and 3 is what I'm doing here. Three. If I took the phone with me to go to Habitat, would you want to watch something like that? I think I could do it. I know a lot of other people use their phones at stores. Would that be of interest to you? Should I put 2 spacer beads in here? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, I messed it up already. 2, 3. This should have been a 2. One, 2, 3. I don't know, I really like these, the gold ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't really have enough, because I think there were 10, weren't there? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 2. These guys. Oh, I already had those. I kind of have a thought in my head, but you know, the thought in my head isn't necessarily manifesting itself. I wonder if I could do these. There's some bronze ones in here. Maybe I could use the bronze and the gold. And then I could use these in between instead of the silver ones. I have no idea if this is going to look good. Maybe I'll just do 3. Instead of 2. Two, 3. What are these? One, 2. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can do 5 on each side of the necklace, because that's what I've got. Do these down here. Then start back with 3. And a spacer. I really like the darker colors of these, but that doesn't mean I'm going to use them all, you know. I think variation is really important. I think for people to want something like this, they're going to have to see that it looks different than what they've seen before. I'm going to switch out some of these. Okay, so 2, 3, spacer, 1, 2, where's a different one? 3. And then what we've got here is this little guy. And maybe I could do this. What do you think? Can you see it very well? Oh my goodness, the snow is big flakes. It's not very cold outside, but it sure is making it a winter wonderland. Okay, now let's see how this works. I don't know if it's going to fit on this or not. I may have to string with string. You know, what's the weather like where you are? Talked to a little girl in the Philippines today. She said it's cold. And I asked her, what is cold there? And she said, well, it's cold, like refrigerator cold. And I thought, child, you don't know what cold is. I don't think it really gets cold. I mean, I could be wrong, but she said it never snows there. She said that one of her goals in life is to see the snow. So at least where she is, it doesn't snow. Two, three, spacer, I wonder if I should be putting other beads that are not as big on here too. I don't know. I can always take it apart. Like put a smaller bead in between the other beads and then every third bead put a spacer in. What do you think? So far these are going on. The only ones that I'm having a problem with, maybe not fitting, these aren't going to fit. I'm going to have to figure out something else. I have a whole slew of stuff though, so oh shoot. I needed to put that spacer on there. What was your most favorite thing to do when you were young, when you were little, when you were a child? When you were a child, did you get encouraged with your likes and desires? Was your family really supportive of what you wanted to do? What were those things? I think I want to do something different. That means I have to take it apart. Hold on. Here's what I've strung so far. It's just not enough interest. I want to other beads here. I've got so much other stuff that isn't out yet. One of these are too white, and the holes in them aren't big. The holes in these aren't big. Maybe I'll have to do that with the next one that I make. I like the leather, the strapping really well. These are the jump rings that, you know, if I can't save this other one, I've got that. And then I've got, well, the lobster claw clasp is fine. Okay, we're going to proceed with this just as I was doing it. I think it's pretty. No, Kitty. Come on. This isn't a good place for you. Goodness. Well, the other ones are bigger holes. Oh, you know what? It had an inside in it. Oh, you know what? That's the part that came off the leather for the closure. Are you twiddling your thumbs yet? What I should do is take and make this in segments and do it. I don't know. I thought I would try it this way and see if you'd like to watch me do it. We're getting down to, now these won't fit. What do I have that I can use? Maybe I can use the plastic ones. Let's see what these look like. Look at these. I know it sounds kind of wimpy that I didn't go out in this, but I don't like to fall. And especially with the weather like it is, it's not frozen solid. It's going to stick, but it's going to cause like ice. And that's pretty treacherous for me. I remember one time in South Dakota, usually, and this was before I was, quote, well, it was before my first knee operation. I was already disabled from wait a minute. Here, I was going to put one of these on. From the degenerative disc disease. Degenerative joints is what it is. But I hadn't had a knee done yet. And that was kind of what made it happen. I got outside and I was in my pajamas and I thought, I'm going to go outside real quick. I don't even remember what I was doing. I don't think I got a paper at the time. I might have. But I'm not sure. Anyway, I fell down off the step onto my knees. And then I couldn't get up because I couldn't get a grip on anything. I was in my pajamas and I was really embarrassed. But that just kind of happens, I guess. Oh, where is it? Oh, there it is. And then one of these. How does that look? Maybe I should have more, like 2 of the gold and then the spacer and 2 of the gold and then the pendant. I think that it needs to have the pendant needs to be more isolated. It's so pretty. 1. Oh, don't go away. 2. Whoops. A spacer and then 2 beads. And then the pendant. and 2 gold beads. And the spacer. And then 2 gold beads. I'm not sure how I'm going to make this be a kind of different that a person would want. We're going to give it the best shot that I can. One more gold bead. Then we can go into the other side here. And this just kind of gives you an idea. You like it? I think I'm going to tie this so that there's more to go around your neck. So this will be a lower hanging pendant. I'm going to turn you off for a couple minutes and then I'll come back. Hi. Well, what do you think? I made the pendant bigger. I extended this piece down and put a bead here and a couple of other beads here to give the effect of this being a lot larger. Then the necklace is like this. What do you think? I don't know what I think. I think that for a first time, it's probably okay. I don't know if this is marketable. What would you think when if you saw this? Would you like it? I'm going to make some earrings too. I think that there's going to be something else that I'm doing to this particular necklace. But I know that I want to do in the yellows and the browns, to do some little bitty beads to go with it. Let me know what you think. I'm not seeing well enough to see what you're seeing. I don't have a clasp on it yet. I put it in a square knot. I suppose that could do. But I don't know. Do you like it? I think the beads are really pretty. Well, that's that. These are beads that would coordinate with those. I'm kind of thinking about what I'm going to do here. I know what I need to do here is to get these things put up. If I don't, they're going to go everywhere. These are the... Do I use the little ones or the big ones? I use the big ones that I didn't use. These little containers are really good. I like them. Here's the chain that goes on the necklace that I took everything off of. I won't be terribly wounded if you tell me the truth on whether or not you like it. If it's too much or too little, or maybe I need to get brown beads and intersperse it so that it's not all the pattern beads. This isn't cast in stone for sure. I'm kind of thinking that putting brown beads in there too would be helpful, and not so many colorful beads. Just use the colorful beads as accent. Let's see about that, huh? These plastic beads aren't too bad. They don't look cheesy. At least I don't think they do. I think I got some brown beads. I'm gonna have to go in there and find them. Then take the necklace apart again. That's okay. That's the only way I'm gonna learn. You know, it, I think that trial and error is the way to success. And I like these beads really well. And I guess seeing them all together like this, I don't know. You're going to have to tell me, because I like it. I don't know if I'd like it better if it was like interspersed with, it's got the spacers in it. But instead of 3 patterned beads, what if there was 1 patterned bead and 2 brown ones on either side of it? What do you think? It's kind of the way it would look. Still snowing. Well, let's see here. Do I have any more containers I can put these other beads in? I'll stick them in here for now. I don't have a lid for those, but I'll find a little container with a lid. I was thinking about in the necklace to have some little beads incorporated in that pendant, so that they would go together. I want them to be unusual. I want them to be something that you haven't really seen before. Then the earrings will be mostly the little beads and then have some of the big ones in it, but not so to detract from the necklace. Maybe that's what I should do, is just leave it the way it is now. Make the necklace, or make the earrings and see what I think. This is it. Let's see here. It actually kind of fits as the middle necklace, I think, in this display thing. And then the pendant. Well, I'm sorry that it's snowing, sorta. I mean, you know, I'm not sorry for what God does. He knows what he's doing. Oh my goodness, I just dropped that. I'll have to get it off the floor. Put it away. So I ended up not using any of the silver spacers. I would imagine I'll be using these beads and the little beads and the big beads. So let me see. I think my needles are like, some of them will accommodate these little guys and some won't. Let me see what I've got here. This looks huge. I think that's 2 needles. And they're stuck together. Now that's on the floor. I do the floor really well, don't I? Keeps me flexible. Okay. Let me see if that's 2 together or if these are just bigger needles. Gosh, those are big. I don't know if they'll fit the little beads. I do have some smaller needles. I may need to go with them. Let me see if they fit. This is on the floor. I need to fix that. Okay, where's the other? Where are the other needles? Let's see. Gosh, I haven't worked with these tiny little things in so long. And I didn't use them to make jewelry. I think I told you that I used them with sequins. Oh, this is going to be tedious. And the needle's too big. I kind of thought it would be. I think these are smaller. They're definitely smaller. They came with the beading, the threaders too, so that'll be good. Okay. Let's see if they go on this one. I think they will. They do. Yay. Wow. There are needles in here. Maybe I dropped them. These are tiny little things. Here's the other one. They're tinier than what I've got here. Some of these have kind of gotten in the wrong box. Oh, this can be fun. I really like to sew. And without a needle threader, it's taken me an hour sometimes to thread a needle. So I don't give up though. Now I wonder about this wire. You could use this instead of a needle, huh? And it does go on, but this is really not what I'd want to use for a bracelet though. So the wire will save for something else. And I do have some elastic here. Oh, well, goodness. This elastic's been cut. I don't remember doing that. Maybe I did. Let me see. I'm going to give myself plenty because I need to. Let's see if I can thread it. Okay, one needle threader. It's almost as hard to get out of here as one needle. These are tiny. Ha! This is going to be like threading a needle. There, I got it in there. That's pretty amazing. Now let's see. These are so stinking tiny. There were two sizes of needles in there. Let me see if there's something in between those two. And they won't go on here, right? Well, phooey. I'm going to have to do something else, huh? It doesn't go past the... I have a whole bunch of needles in the other room. I'm going to see if I can find one. I've got a few other ones here to try. These are J&P Coats needles. They've been around forever. I bought at a rummage sale. I bought a whole tote of needles. Didn't know what I was going to use them for. Well, I knew that I'd be sewing, but nothing pointed to today. But I am kind of prepared. Let's see. I had a threader here. What happened to it? Everything winds up on the floor, doesn't it? Well, I think I have more threaders. I'll have to, oh, here it is. My dogs are starting to scratch. I'm hoping they don't have fleas. Maybe they just have dry skin. I have flea stuff to put on them. I'm going to have to do that tonight. I'll brush them first. I have a lice brush that I use on them. I don't like to put anything on them unless I have to. I have a spray stuff too that's organic. They hate it. Oh, that's in there. Good. But you know, sometimes they have to deal with stuff that I am doing because it's what's good for them. The little darlings. Ah, fell off. I'm doing this by touch, so it got on there really fast the last time. I think I told you why I'm not in the craft room, right? I just don't want the kitties in there anymore. They do what comes natural to cats. And that's to play with stuff. Or to clear off a spot for them to lay. They don't care if it's my stuff or not. I guess I just don't have enough order in there for me to be able to walk in and say, well, okay, I'll walk in and get frustrated, and it's not worth that. They're just being cats. Okay, now we're going to see if it goes through. If I can thread it. Oh, goodness, come on. Sometimes threading the threader can be as tedious as threading a needle. Well, I just had it in there and it climbed out. I'm going to have to get on YouTube and figure out how to tie this stuff so it stays tied. Oh, it's threaded. If any of you know how to tie elastic, please let me know. All right, now the magic will be if it'll go through the beads. Let's see. Oh gosh, it's not going to go past the eye of the needle. Well, how disappointing, huh? I think These are those self-threading needles, but they're really not self-threading. They just have the break in the top. Let's see if this one will go. I'm gonna have to find barely. I think we're gonna have to use wire here and make something pretty. Some of my prettiest earrings are made out of wire. So we'll just work on earrings. There's a way to get around everything. There's a container in here. Stick these little puppies in there. Put the lid on it. I'm done with you for a while. Okay, now I'm in very, very foreign territory here. So if you feel like bearing with me, that's fine. If not, I'll talk to you later. This will be interesting. What am I going to do? I got to have an idea first. Straighten out this wire. They kind of crimped it. You know, you should always count the cost of what you're doing before you do it. And I don't think I did. But probably I wouldn't have done it. And I'm glad I did. What can I do here? I'm going to want it to hang off of an earring thing. So maybe I can make something abstract. Now I know that this will fit. What kind of a pattern should I do? Now, do the teeny tiny ones fit too? I don't know, remind me of this, so I'll never buy any of the tiny, tiny, tiny beads anymore. These are 1 millimeter, and they do go on, surprisingly. So 2 of these. Maybe. Whoops. I think I'll be using something other than the 1 millimeter beads right now because they're just too tiny. I think they're 1, 2, and 3 millimeter in here. So what are these? These fit just fine. You just kind of go fishing. I love these tube beads. And grab one of these and put it on there. I know I've got tweezers too. I can use those. Oh. Not trying to do stuff below you. It's just this arm doesn't like to work very well. Oh, no. Did I put on two? Wow. I wanted to put on one. Probably should bend this up so that they won't fall off the other end. Okay, I think I'm going to be using the bigger beads. Not only they're easier to catch, they're also, I think, the right size for what it is that I'm trying to accomplish here. I've got two of those. I can use the two beads too. So I'll be using the beads right in here. Maybe when my glasses come in, I'll be able to see better. Wouldn't that be great? I hope that works out. I know the specialist will be telling me what's going on with me. I know that, ouch. What's going on isn't necessarily what needs to be going on, so. Maybe we can get some answers. And there are certainly worse things than vision problems. Okay, there's one. And then another white one. This is quite tedious. Maybe laying them out in a bowl would be easier to target them. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just playing. I think I either need to do shiny beads or not shiny beads. It doesn't look right having different ones. It is easier to pick them up one at a time. As long as they're little. I suppose when you get good at, you know, that you can get better at this. It's kind of like fishing. Put your line in the water and sometimes you get a bite and sometimes you don't. I never went fishing when I was little. I didn't start fishing until I was older. And I decided that if I was going to fish, I would have to eat them. And I found out that fresh fish is really quite good. Now, I've never had a desire to do raw fish, but several of my children like sushi. And Peyton loves sushi. What's your favorite kind of food? I really like Chinese food. We don't get real Chinese food though, you know. And the MSG isn't good for you. But it kind of is what it is. MSG is what gives it the flavorfuls. That's not too bad. I'm going to take that 2 bead off the back here. Once I get done with this, or as much as I'm going to do today, I've got to finish up my house. And tomorrow we'll do a Temu haul. Oh no! I just dumped them all off the back end. Well, so much for that, huh? Put that one back. Get the other ones off the floor. Well, maybe later. I can't seem to get them right now. So what if I decided to do this and, well, there must be a bead in there. There is. Remind me not to get the little tiny beads anymore. I think they're beautiful. And I think that maybe because of my disability, it might be too hard to work with them. I'm not going to give up, but we'll see. So, these are the necklaces that I got. And they've got the clasp on it and the ring too. What can I do to maybe make some earrings for this necklace? Apparently I'm not going to have little bead necklaces to go with it. But if I did earrings, how would I want to do them? I want them to hint of the necklace. So if I did that, and this is the bottom piece. I turned this, went this way with it. That would hold it in. You couldn't see what I was doing, could you? I'm sorry. What I did is I put the bead on, the wooden bead, and then the little gold bead, and then I put the wire through the bead and then back through the big bead So I've got double wire right here. I'm going to tie that off. By twisting it. That's what I think I'm doing. And then maybe a couple of these guys on here. I want to make it pretty. One of the gold shiny ones on there. I need to remind myself, this is why I didn't do diamond painting. Is because I don't think my hands would be very adaptable to it. And if I'm not mistaken, there are really little things that go in diamond painting too. I know nothing about what I'm doing here. Not a thing. Not a... Doesn't mean we can't make something pretty. Just means that I'm not sure how yet. Maybe I can make the twisted wire part of the pretty on the earring. I don't know. Boy, this is really hit and miss, guys. I just don't know. Put another one of these guys on here. I'm going to see how long I want them. Where are the... I'm going to have to look at a YouTube to find out about making this stuff. Making the necklaces and earrings. I think the necklace is okay. But the earrings, I've just got to get that right. I probably should put gold ones on there. Just going to kind of experiment here. Here's a wire, and it does already have a little ring on there. I'm just going to play. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. And then if I do again, I should have put a gold bead on there. I'm not too committed to where I can't go back, I don't think. Well, I know that making jewelry is definitely an art. And I think it's just like anything else. You have to have the idea in your brain and figure out how to do it. I think I'm going to do it this way. Let's see. I think it's almost off. There. No. Well, I wonder how committed I am here. I watch craft videos and people know what they're doing. How boring for you. I'm trying to straighten this out now so I can get this off. I wanted to put here. I want to put one of these beads on and then put the earpiece on with the ear wire. It's more balanced that way. Okay, now let's twist it again. Just one time. Then I'll put another little bead here. This is the little gold beads. And a wooden bead. And a gold bead. And a wooden bead. And a gold bead. And a wooden bead. And a gold bead. Is that it? Could kind of make them like a hoop earring, I suppose. I wouldn't want that one at the bottom. That's what I'm doing. Because then I'd have two of those together. Well, I think I have a vision of what I want. I think I'm making these hoop earrings. Oh my goodness, Denise. If I can pull this off, it's going to be amazing. Let's see here. I'm feeding it back through the beads. I'm trying to. I got to get it through that one last bead. Or maybe not. Let's just see. Well, folks, I think I'm making a hoop earring. I'm sure I'm not doing it right. But there's got to be something that I'm doing right on here. I got the beads right. Oh, hooey. I twisted the wrong way. I untwisted instead of twisted. A little shorter wire to feed back through. If I can cut it. Well, these have a cutting edge too, but they don't want to. I'll use these. And somehow I need to get this fed back through, so... There's got to be an easier way to do this. There's got to be. You just need to clip it. I don't want it to come apart. I'll have to try a different way with the other earring, as long as it doesn't look any different. What do you think? Where's the necklace? You think they go together? Gotta do something a little different here. I'll probably end up taking this apart and trying to redo it, but I think a hoop earring with these would be pretty, don't you? Hey, cut it out. That's not too bad for a first time shot. And the necklace hangs down pretty far. Of course, I wouldn't wear it with a sweater like this. I'd wear it with something with a closed collar, more of a closed collar. What do you think? I think that I can get it right. It may take a minute to do that. Oh my goodness. 2 hours. You don't want to watch this. I love you guys. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.